My attachment to Ogunquit goes back about 40 years. My wife goes back even further when she came here in the early 60s with her family for the summer. My two sons started working in local businesses after they attained the age of 14. Over the past 5 years, I've transitioned from being a summer resident to attending select board meetings and other committee meetings. I've learned a lot about the workings of town government. Now, as a full-time voting resident, I actively participate on town committees, secretary of the Board of Assessment Review, and I spent the last 6 months on the Beach Bathhouse Advisory Group, where I was appointed because of my accounting skills relating to large-scale building reconstruction. I believe I have the right experience to be on the Budget Review Committee. My major at Babson College was accounting, and I passed the CPA exam while a senior at school. I'm licensed to practice public accountancy here in Maine, as well as Massachusetts, New York, and Ohio. I've practiced forensic accounting for almost 50 years and have reviewed well over 1,000 budgets and financial statements in companies ranging from mom and pop grocery stores to Fortune 500 companies to the World Trade Center complex in New York City. I was at ground zero on the morning of 9/11 and felt my building shake twice as each of the planes hit the towers. I was a founding partner in my CPA firm and served on its executive committee for 30 years. During that period, the firm grew from 4 offices to 40 offices around the world. And I continue to practice, at least on a lesser scale today, in my retirement. If you elect me as a voting member of the Budget Review Committee, I will continue to make recommendations to the Select Board that include both short-term and long-term considerations, always striving to maintain services. I know the ins, I know the outs of our town's revenue and expense accounts. I've always advocated for fully funding the reserve accounts, such as the rainy day fund and other funds. Setting aside a few dollars each year in these funds, to me, is far less painful than asking taxpayers to cough up $500 all at once for buying an ambulance, which would mean going further into debt and needlessly incurring interest rates in the future. We're not a business and we don't need to turn a profit. We are a municipality that provides services. Do we really want to cut essential services like police and fire or public works to people who plow our streets in the wintertime? I don't believe so, but that's a decision the voters and taxpayers will need to decide. I would make sure important capital improvement projects remain funded, especially ones that would, if we ignore them today, would mean increased costs in the future. For example, continuing to invest $50,000 to $100,000 a year in our roadway maintenance will save us millions in the long run. We can do this by carefully using the rainy day fund. Lastly, I would seriously consider raising daily beach parking rates after discussions with visitor services. This would not hurt the business because the daily lots generally accommodate day trippers, the people who arrive early, spend the day on the beach, and head out in mid-afternoon to beat the traffic. The extra money from a sensible rate increase would partially offset the expected $1 million decrease in parking revenues in the upcoming summer. So in summary, anyone can propose major cuts. That's easy, but it would come at the cost of service reductions.